All right, everyone, how you doing today? This is Andrew Peche, and today's topic, should you list your prices on your website? All right, so this is a big topic and it's a confusing one, and I do think it's a very difficult question. There's kind of a lot of benefits and drawbacks, and we're going to go through some of these and we're going to kind of try and tease them out, the benefits and drawbacks in our heads, and try and figure out the best way, okay? And this might apply a little bit differently to you, so your particular situation, but I think going through a list like this will help you kind of figure it out for yourself, okay? So what are the benefits and drawbacks of listing your pricing on your website? Let's go through that real quick. So I'd say one of the biggest benefits is people want the price, right? And especially nowadays, people want to get there. They want to see it. They're kind of deluged with information. They want your price. I think we're at the point where we've sort of got to give them something, at least. At the very least, give them something, okay? That's just almost a must, okay? You can't just have nothing for pricing. That would be like, maybe Louis Vuitton would do that, So a company like that could pull it off, okay? Because they're already established and well branded, all right? But we can't do that. Most of us can't do that, okay? The other benefit I would say is somebody mentioned to me recently in one of the videos that they kind of want all their clients to feel like they're getting the same price. And I feel like listing your prices on the website will do that. It'll kind of it'll kind of assure people, well, my competitor over here is getting the same price. And I guess that's a good thing. For me, I don't find this so much of an issue for me personally, but you might. So I think listing your prices on your website is good in that respect. The fact that everyone feels like they're getting the same price, okay? So I don't feel like there's too much more to discuss as far as benefits. So we're going to get to some drawbacks. You can go ahead and leave a comment if you think there's more benefits, okay? What are the drawbacks of prices on the website? And I feel like there are more drawbacks, okay? So that's the first thing I'll mention. But people come to your website when you have your prices listed and they get the price in their head, or maybe they write it down, maybe they're comparing photographers, and they're just going to leave immediately. I really believe this is a problem, okay? You don't want people to come to your website, look for the pricing tab, and then leave. I really feel that's a huge problem. So you don't want that. You really want to discourage that. You want to get people thinking more in terms of, what does this guy have to offer before he leaves? You want to get them to where, whatever your thing is, if it's fast, if it's quality, whatever it is, you want to give them a sense that you're going to be giving them that. Maybe one of your things is you get the photos back quick, or whatever it is. You want to give the people a sense of your customer service and your product. So if they're leaving immediately, your website's sort of defeating its whole purpose, okay? So I really discourage you from just listing like a pricing tab on your website, because people are just going to look at it and leave, okay? A lot of them anyway, all right? So also, if you list your prices, your flexibility is sort of gone. So maybe I'm not like everyone out there, but I like to have a ton of flexibility. I feel like a $5 million house is there's a lot more pressure on me to make good photos and stuff. So I like to have my prices flexible, in other words, okay? Like, maybe another house is further away. Maybe I tend to retouch more for a certain client, whatever. But I like to, quote certain houses certain ways. So I know some of you out there, I've noticed, don't like that. So, you're going to have to set your policy accordingly. But anyway, I like to be flexible with my prices. I don't think there's a one size fits all pricing for me, okay? When you list your prices, you could be losing clients at both ends, right? So what I mean by that is, if somebody's really cheap, you might be losing them. And you could also be losing, what if like the top guy in your market comes to your website and he sees that your pricing is like $200? He might be like, well, that's crazy. And he might just leave immediately. You know what I mean? So you want to have, it depends on who you're going after. Like for me, I try and go after the high-end guys if I can. And, I don't want anybody to leave because of my price, okay? So, the last one I'll talk about as a drawback is that your competitors will know your pricing. I don't I did a little recon on this whole drawbacks and benefits right before I did this lesson, and I don't really consider this a drawback too much. I know a lot of people mentioned it, but I don't know. I just don't see it as a drawback. So you guys can let me know what you think. I don't know why, Joe Blow down the street knowing what I charge is a drawback, really. So you tell me why. I don't know. Okay. So can we solve all these problems and kind of integrate everything we know now about about putting pricing on the website, the good and the bad? Can we integrate it all into a single policy that just, it kind of accentuates all the good things that we want and it de-emphasizes all the bad things? Can we do that? I think so. Okay, I think it's very possible. Okay, we'll go through an example in a minute, but I'll just walk you through this. So if we list pricing starting at, I really like this. And the other thing I like doing is list it in a sort of semi-hidden spot on the website. And that doesn't mean like hide it so it's so obscure, but somewhere someone is obviously going to go, like your services or your frequently asked questions, something like that. And we'll go through an example again, so just so you can see what I do. But I just want you to get this point, like prices starting at, like for me, what I list, like if there was a condo like a mile away from my house and it's like 500 square feet, I have a price, and I put that on there. So I feel like it's going to kind of encourage all the cheaper people to still maybe be thinking about me. Okay, so I list that price. Okay, and again, I kind of try to hide it. I try and make it so that they have to do what I want on my website, which is cruise around a little bit. Maybe they check out my portfolio, and then maybe they get stuck there and are like, wow, look at this. I want them to see that stuff. I don't want them to just leave. Okay. So we're going to go through, again, I'm going to put up the benefits and drawbacks we already talked about and kind of try and check off what these policies that I'm recommending to you do, okay? So people want the price, right? They want to see that. And they want to see also, I know some of you out there want your clients to have this feeling that they're getting pricing equality, okay? And some of the drawbacks we have, or all of them, are listed here, okay? And so what does this point number 1 up here solve for us in terms of these? What does it solve? Well, I think people that want the price, it's there, okay? They can find it. They're just going to have to look a little bit. They're not going to be able to just, find a pricing tab and run. I don't want that. I don't want people to do that when they come to my website. Otherwise, why wouldn't I just have a website with my pricing and no pictures? I don't want to do that, okay? Pricing equality, I feel like it would satisfy them. They're seeing the price written there kind of in black and white, okay? So we're satisfying the benefits, and are we losing the drawbacks? Well, are they coming to my website and leaving immediately? No. We're kind of covering that, okay? I'm trying to kind of force them to search around, okay? What about my flexibility? Am I losing it? I don't really feel like when I put prices starting at, I'm losing my flexibility, okay? Are we losing clients, those top-end clients or the really cheap people by listing our prices? Maybe to some extent if you're starting at prices too high for them, but I think that's a good thing. That's actually a good control. And the high end, for me personally, I try and put like a really high price on there too. So you'll see my example. And the whole competitors no thing, I just think that that's going to be solved immediately. So if you can see, I checked off the ones I think this solves, okay? And it's pretty much everything except the losing clients on the high and low end, which I may have misspoke a minute ago. But we'll just get to our next point, which this is going to be number 2 thing that I recommend. So list prices from your high and low end. So I do think this obviously solves, this requirement number 3, okay? So we're getting all these solved in a good way for us at this point. Everything, all the benefits are staying and all the drawbacks we're kind of solving, okay? And no matter what you do with your own policy, just try and go through the same process. Just think to yourself, well, who do I want to, go after? And what are your, the really important things for you? Like for me, I know it's this flexibility, okay, in my pricing. And that's very important to me, okay? So I want to make sure I have that. So we are going to go through an example, my website. So we're going to jump over there and I'll see you there. All right, so we're at my website, and as you can see, this is my home page. A lot of people land on this page, so I have this written out for my potential clients. Just some verbiage about what I can offer them. I have some of my photos up here, obviously on the home page, and as you'll notice, a big point for me is there's no pricing tab. Okay, even if you get in here, there's no pricing tab. All right. And so they would have to kind of dig around. And for me, maybe they went to about, there wouldn't be anything in there about pricing for me. If they went to process, that's more like them seeing me editing a photo. Okay, I want to give them this idea that there's more going on than just, showing up and grabbing some photos. Okay, I want to show them that I'm a capable photographer and that I'm have a sophisticated process and that I'm really concentrating on quality. I want them to get this idea, okay? So as they search around, as they get interested, hopefully, maybe at one point they get to the services tab, what do I offer? And I actually sort of put it a little bit obscurely at the bottom, okay? Just obscure it a little bit. When I say obscure it, I just mean it's not right at the top, okay? And at this stage, I'm telling them that my lowest price is $225. Okay, that's kind of like hopefully kind of maintaining the people's interest that I still want to work with. If somebody wants to pay $100 for a real estate shoot, hopefully they're going to just leave right now. And I kind of want that, okay? So anybody that I kind of sort of want to work with is going to hopefully keep their interest. $225 I think is about right for me. And at the same time, I go on and I tell them approximately what they're going to be paying for a really general house. And then I try and put in there that, look, I'm for larger, really, these mansions or whatever on the beach, it could be as much as $1,000, okay? And that would probably be including like aerials and stuff, okay? So I feel like I'm not losing anybody. I feel like if somebody has a little 2,000 square foot condo, they're going to see this 300 to 1,000, they're going to perfectly be able to realize that doesn't apply to them, so they're going to kind of ignore that. They're going to just be looking at this number. And then likewise, these really high-end clients that I would love to have more, be working for more, they're going to kind of ignore this and be looking more in this area, okay? So in the same vein, if you head up here to my About, I also have the same text on my frequently asked questions. And this is pretty much, we all know this is the number one question we get about pricing, right? So I have it right at the top. So I feel like they could, a little bit of digging and they can find it very easily. And I pretty much just have the same exact thing copied over there, okay? All right, so we've made it through that, and I just feel like a quick review is in order. So there's definitely a lot of benefits and drawbacks, and I encourage you again to kind of think about it yourself, maybe even list them out like I've done, and you can kind of list out what's important to you and what's not. And whatever your policy is, try and get it so that you have them all covered, or especially the most important things that you want are covered with whether you list or not, okay? So again, you want to accentuate the benefits of putting the pricing on your website, and you want to kind of de-emphasize the drawbacks, all right? So I feel like personally a good starting point for you guys to think about is list the prices in a kind of that semi-hidden location. That doesn't mean hide them completely, but they're going to get there if they have any interest in you whatsoever, okay? They're going to go to your services. They're going to go to your frequently, they're going to go to these FAQ sections. They're going to go there if they're serious and they like your stuff, at least from what they've seen, okay? So they're going to find it if they're interested enough. And also, don't forget to get that kind of range in there, I'd say. So where the goal would be, you're really low-end clients, they're ignoring those high-end prices. And if you happen to get like a really high-end studly guy coming to your website, he's going to ignore that low-end and be like, wow, okay, this guy, he's not, you can't have $175 on your pricing page and then have a guy contact you about an $8 million home. He's probably going to just skip to the next guy. Okay, so you don't want to lose that guy. So that is it, guys. Thank you for listening, and please do subscribe if you're interested in these type of topics. And I hope you got something out of that, and I hope it helps you with your, whether or not you list your prices on your website or not in the future, and let me know how it goes, okay, in the comments if you get some good feedback on it. All right, so I will see you for the next one. Bye bye.